I'm sorry to inform you, but your apartment has a new roommate. He's been living in your ceiling for at least a year now, and he really needs you to stop dumping all those food crumbs up there. Hey, you. Yes, you. You would not believe me if I told you about him, even though you have heard the pitter-patter of little feet running around your loft, right? And how you just write it off as old pipes or maybe mice. Yeah, that's cute. But what about when you hear scratching sounds like someone is sharpening their claws? Or what about when you see these long, dark hairs falling from the vents, or worse, sticking to your clothes? Have you tried explaining this one away? Do you know where the sound is coming from? If not, let me introduce you to your new roommate, an animal who made its home in your ceiling. Let us take a look at some of the signs that there might be an animal living in your ceiling and why you should definitely evict them ASAP. No. 1. There are tiny footsteps in your attic. Is your bedroom located directly underneath your attic? Well, if you live in an older home with wooden floorboards, then yes, you'll probably notice the occasional creak. But if you hear consistent small steps, then it's time to get to the bottom of it. Depending on the size of your ceiling, animals will choose different areas to nestle up in. If they feel threatened, they could be making their homes in the insulation or running across the joists. Also, attics aren't the best ventilated spaces, so sometimes animals will try to make their way down into the living space to find some fresh air. So if you start hearing tiny footsteps in your attic, especially during the day or in the evening, you can safely assume you have a new roommate. No. 2. You keep finding animal droppings in your home. Some animals won't stay hidden in your attic forever. No matter how many times you sweep or vacuum, you still find small piles of droppings in your home. These may be small and difficult to spot, so keep an eye out in hard-to-reach places like behind furniture or along baseboards. Animal droppings also come in different shapes and sizes, depending on who the culprit is. However, the good news is that most wild animals don't hang around humans because we're giant, smelly monsters. So if you do find droppings in your home, it's a sure sign that your roommate isn't staying put in the attic. No. 3. Your attic insulation looks picked apart. Insulation is designed to keep your home warm in the winter and cool in the summer. And depending on where you live, it's a potential buffet for animals looking for a nice place to set up shop. Have you noticed that your energy bills have started to increase? Or maybe you found small holes in your insulation where there weren't any before. Some animals, such as raccoons, squirrels, or birds, will chew on the insulation to make their nests more comfortable or use the material for nesting. Rodents may even drag the insulation into their hiding spots to build a cozy den. Other times, animals may simply be chewing on the insulation for nutrition. Whatever the reason, if you notice that your attic insulation is ripped or pulled out of place, you likely have unwelcome guests taking advantage of the resources available to them. No. 4. The scratching sounds coming from your attic. Did you know that many animals are nocturnal? This means that they sleep during the day and are most active once the sun goes down. Raccoons, squirrels, and chipmunks are known for being noisy critters, who often make their homes in attics. If you are trying to sleep at night and hear regular scratching sounds coming from your attic or roof, then chances are it's one of these animals looking to settle in for the night. They may also bring their dinner inside to eat or spend the night playing. Squirrels are known for being hyperactive, so it's not unheard of to hear them scampering around on your roof. However, this can also be a sign that they made a home in your attic and are looking for food. Squirrels can cause a lot of damage to your home, so it's important to evict them as soon as possible. Number 5. Nests and dumps. Animals will occasionally bring their nests into your living space. Sometimes this is because they're looking for a better nesting location, or because they want to hide their nest from predators. If you find a nest made of twigs, leaves, or other natural materials, it's time to call an exterminator. Another common sign that animals are living in your attic is if you find random clumps of fur or hair in your home. These clumps are usually from the animal's nest and can be found in areas where the animal is most active. It's also possible to find animal saliva in these clumps, which can help identify what kind of animal is living in your ceiling. No. 6. Seeing the animal in your ceiling. Although it's rare to catch a glimpse of your new roommate, it's not impossible. If you happen to look up in time, you might see a bushy tail darting between the rafters. If you're lucky, you might even catch a glimpse of the critter's face as it scurries away. Just remember, some animals can carry diseases and parasites, so it's best not to get too close. So if you do happen to see the animal in your ceiling, take note of what it looks like, how big it is, and whether it appears to be friendly or aggressive. This will help you determine the best course of action when dealing with the situation. Number 7. Bird droppings. Bird droppings are a common problem for homeowners, especially if there are birds nesting in your ceiling. Bird droppings can stain your walls and ceilings, not to mention carry disease. If you start seeing bird droppings in your home, it's time to call an exterminator. In addition to the bird droppings, you may also hear birds chirping or squawking in your attic or roof. No. 8 smells something dead up there. If you smell a foul odor coming from your attic or roof, it's possible that there is a dead animal in your ceiling. This can be caused by raccoons, squirrels, birds, or other animals that may have made their way into your home. A dead animal in your attic can also be a sign of a larger infestation. So it's important to take care of the problem as soon as possible. No. 9. Strange sounds coming from your attic or roof. As we mentioned before, animals are most active at night. So if you're winding down for bed and hear strange sounds coming from your attic or roof, it's worth investigating. Common sounds include scratching, scurrying, gnawing, and squeaking. These sounds can be caused by a variety of animals, such as mice, rats, squirrels, raccoons, and bats. Number 10. You find gnawed wires. If you have electrical wires in your attic, it's possible that an animal could be gnawing on them. This can be dangerous and lead to a fire hazard. If you find wires that have been chewed through or damaged, it's important to contact an electrician to repair the damage and an exterminator to remove the animals. Now that you know what to look out for, let's talk about what to do next. If you suspect that there's an animal living in your ceiling, the first step is to identify the type of animal. This can help you determine the best way to deal with the situation. Once you've identified the animal, it's time to take action. If the animal is small, such as a mouse or rat, you may be able to trap it and remove it yourself. However, if the animal is larger, such as a raccoon or squirrel, it's best to contact a professional wildlife removal service. These professionals have the experience and equipment to safely remove the animal from your home. It's also important to take steps to prevent the animal from returning. This includes sealing up any entry points into your home and removing any potential food sources. By taking these steps, you can help ensure that your home stays pest-free in the future. In conclusion, if you suspect that an animal is living in your ceiling, it's important to take action right away. Not only can these animals cause damage to your home, but they can also pose a health risk. By following the tips above, you can help identify and remove any unwanted guests from your home so you can live in peace once again. So if you think you might have an uninvited roommate, contact a pest pro today. They'll be able to help you evict your roommate without causing any harm to them or your home.